Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rima Febrina. I'm from Semantics A2 class. I will present my paper on hyponymy analysis on There Will Come Sovereigns, short story by Bradbury. The introduction chapter. So in linguistics, the study about meaning of languages named as semantic. The term semantics is often defined as the study of meaning. Semantics, which deals with the word meaning, is called lexical semantic or lexical relations. Bollinger, 1968, defines lexical relations as relationships of the meaning of a word to other words. Palmer, 1976, mentions several types of lexical relations: homonym, polysemy, synonymy, antonym, hyponymy, and metonymy. In this paper, the writer intends to investigate hyponymy on a short story titled There Will Come Soft Rains written by Bradbury and originally published in 1950. Nordquist 2020 defines hyphonym as a term used to designate a particular member of a broader class. Hyponymy is mostly found in nouns. According to a study that analyzed the lexicon in Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles, conducted by Musavinia and Shiseber in 2017, Bradbury emphasized mostly on describing and showing the readers his stories using nouns. This finding makes the writer interested to conduct an analysis on hyponymy on one of his famous and arguably best short stories. And the next chapter is review of literature. The first one is definition of semantics. Crystal 2006 defines semantics as the technical term for the study of meaning in language and lexical relation and types of lexical relation. Glossary of Linguistic Terms defines a lexical relation as a culturally recognized pattern of association that exists between lexical units in a language. Some relations between lexical items include hyponymy, hypernymy, synonymy, and antonymy, as well as homonymy. Hyponymy. Nordquist 2020 writes that hyponymy is the term to refer to a set of or a group of words that are included in a higher term or word. Crystal 2003 elaborates that hyponymy is a less familiar term to most people than either synonymy or antonymy, but it refers to a much more important sense relation. It describes what happens when we say an X is a kind of Y, a daffodil is a kind of flower, or simply a daffodil is a flower. And the next is short story. Short story is a brief fictional prose narrative that is shorter than a novel and that usually deals with only a few characters. In terms of length, Fulton 2008 writes that word count is typically anywhere from 1,000 to 4,000 for short stories. However, some have 15,000 words and are still classed as a short stories. Fatma 2012 mentions an English novelist Hugh Walpole's view on the form of a short story. A story should be a story, a record of things happening full of incidents, swift movements, unexpected development, leading through suspense to a climax and a satisfying denouement. There Will Come Soft Rains by Bradbury. There Will Come Soft Rains is a science fiction short story by author Ray Bradbury, written as a chronicle about a lone house that stands intact in a California city that has otherwise been obliterated by a nuclear bomb. and then is destroyed in a fire caused by windstorm. The short story first appeared in the May 6, 1950 issue of Collier's magazine and was revised and included as a chapter titled August 2026, There Will Come Some Rains in Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles that was also first published in May 1950. Method. So the researcher used descriptive qualitative research to investigate the problem. The objective of the study were to analyze hyponyms used in the short story There Will Come Some Rains by Ray Bradbury. The researcher used context analysis and documentation method as the process of technique of collecting data. The researcher identified hyponyms by Palmer's theory. The method of analyzing data found were first, underline each word that had hyponym, then classified them into categories. The next chapter is result and discussion. The result, after collecting the data, it was found 127 words which were categorized as hyponymy. The data was classified into the category of hyponymy as seen in the following table. So this is the table that I found, that the category of hyponymy found in the short story. As you can see here, there are words and there are category of hyponymy. Frog is categorized as amphibian, antelope as animals, bee as animal, butterfly as animal, and so on and so forth. And then the next category, like animal body parts, beverages, birds, water bodies, until there are 127 words found and 45 categories. Result and discussion. Now we are moving on to discussion. Based on the finding above, there are 127 words found as which fell into 45 categories of hyponymy. In the category of animals, variations of animals like bees, butterflies, lions, okapi, panthers, etc. are shown in the short story with the form of robots, where Bradbury described those animals with bizarre color like blue, lilac, pink, etc. They can be categorized as hyponyms of color. The setting of the story itself is in a certain empty house. Many house-related hyponyms found in the parts of house, as in the parts of the house, kitchen equipment, furniture, materials, etc. Bradbury also used words to describe an apocalypse that fell into hyponyms of substances, metals, fragments, particles, etc. Now the conclusion. In conclusion, the study that is conducted to investigate the hyponymy on a short story There Will Come Some Rains written by Ray Bradbury found that there are 127 words which fell into 45 categories of hyponymy. Those categories are animals, colors, parts of the house, metals, etc. Right. That is the end of the presentation. Thank you so much.